We are the Hebrew Israelites.
Okay.
We're definitely Hebrew Israelites. But it was other things that went along with the curses that was put on our people in Deuteronomy 28th chapter. And then once you begin to see these things, you begin to understand why our people walk around in darkness as far as religious doctrine is concerned.
Shabbat Shalom. Our scripture reading for today is Revelation chapter 1, verses 4 through 6. John, to the 7 churches which are in Asia, grace be unto you, and peace from him which is, and which was, and which is to come, and from the 7 spirits which are before his throne, and from Yahshua HaMashiach, who is the faithful witness, and the first begotten of the dead, and the prince of the kings of the earth, unto him that loved us, and washed us from our sins in his own blood, and hath made us kings and priests unto Elohim and his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Our selection today, blood-washed child.
Everything. Hey, I'm a blood-washed child of the King. Sometimes that darkness whispers, trying to tell me I ain't home, but I remember what he said, my child. Your day's been paid, and I don't want my sight no more. I want faith and open door. Ain't no lie gonna steal my peace, 'cause my soul found sweet release. Hey, I'm a blood-washed child of the King. You can feel that joy when I sing you. The world tried to shame my name, but his hands still cover everything. Yeah, I'm a blood-washed child of the King. Oh, yeah. I ain't perfect, but I'm free. Grace still rolls like the melody. Yeah. He calls me son, I call him Yah. My blood you can sing. Oh, let the devil talk. He don't know my song. I've been his child all along. Hey, I'm a blood-washed child of the King. Oh, I'm a blood-washed child of the King. Yeah. And fear that joy. The world tried to change my name. But he said, I'm a blood-washed child of the King.
The oracles of the UCI, 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through YHWH the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5 and verse 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you are sealed until the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for Yahshua's sake has forgiven you. Be you therefore followers of Elohim as their children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also have loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication, and all uncleanness, or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becomes saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather given of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim. For Elohim is in heaven, and you up on earth. Therefore, let your words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 and 21. Behold, I send an angel before you, to keep you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelations chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcame and am sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
All right, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Which is peace on Yahweh's holy Sabbath day. Welcome to another holy convocation that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in this body of Yahshua. We're going to deal with something that we have to look at in depth to understand exactly what it means. Normally when we talk about being a chosen vessel of Elohim, everything about that sounds good. What we don't understand is there are some trials and tribulations that are associated with that, because there are some levels that one is going to have to reach that is outside of their normal pattern of operating. And when Yahweh is pushing us to perform something, even our own desires and aspirations for our lives has to be placed inside what he has chosen for us. So today's sermon is entitled A Chosen Vessel of Elohim. And a vessel is defined as something prepared, that is, an apparatus, as an implement, utensil, or weapon, a bag, furniture, instrument, pot, psaltery, or sack. So then this vessel is something that Yahweh puts something into, because a vessel holds something. So when Yahweh chooses one among men to be used as a vessel, he or she becomes an instrument, a utensil, a bag, or a pot that has his desire placed inside of it. Yahweh stated during the choosing of King David that he does not see men the way men see men. This lets us know that something disapproved of men could very well become a chosen vessel unto Elohim. Let's begin today's sermon in 2 Kings chapter 4, and we're going to read verses 1 through 7. 2 Kings chapter 4 and verses 1 through 7.
Now there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elisha, saying, Your servant, my husband, is dead, and you know that your servant did fear Yahweh, and the creditors come to take unto him my 2 sons to be bondmen. And Elisha said unto her, What shall I do for you? Tell me, what have you in the house? And she said, Your handmaid has not anything in the house save a pot of oil. Then he said, Go, borrow you vessels abroad of all your neighbors, even empty vessels, borrow not a few. And when you are come in, you shall shut the door upon you and upon your sons, and shall pour out into all those vessels, and you shall set aside that which is full. So she went from him, and shut the door upon her and upon her sons, who brought the vessels to her. And she poured out. And it came to pass, when the vessels were full, that she said unto her son, Bring me yet a vessel. And he said unto her, There's not a vessel more. And the oil stayed. And she came and told the man of Elohim, and he said, Go sell the oil, and pay your debt, and live you and your children of the rest.
Now, we have to first look at verse 2. What shall I do for you? The next question, tell me, what have you in the house? So, the first thing is, do you have a desire? The next part, what do you have that he can build upon? What do you have in the house? It says your handmaid has not anything in the house save a pot of oil. Good. That what you look at as I have nothing but, he says, that is what I'm going to take. And this is what I'm going to use to fulfill what it is that you desire. He asked 2 questions. What shall I do for you? And what do you have? See, we're not prepared for him to take the one thing that we have that we look at as probably nothing. But he's going to use that thing to give you what you want. So these 2 questions will kind of go by you if you don't really pay attention. Now, verse 3. Then he says, Go borrow you vessels abroad of all your neighbors, even empty vessels, borrow not a few. Now, this is that part where you have to have some faith, because there is some unknown now in this process. Now go borrow vessels, but you don't know if you're going to actually be able to feel what's in there and understand the people who you are going to they know you. So when they know you, they know what you ain't got. So when you go to borrow a vessel from them, they say, now what you gonna put in there? So you might be able to go and put on a nice outfit and go to the mall where don't nobody know you, so don't nobody know you broke. But them people who you went to their house and asked for them vessels, they know you broke. They know you broke. But do you have the faith to go into the face and look in the eyes of the people who know you don't have nothing to put in those vessels and yet still ask for a vessel, and then go to the next door neighbor and ask for another vessel, and then go to the next door neighbor and ask for another vessel, and they all saying, what in the world are they doing? I've been in there. They ain't got but one pot of oil. What is she going from house to house for? Can you withstand the people's perception of you? Because at this point, the real battle for you has not even begun. Have you already gotten dismayed? And it has just begun. He's just saying, go and get vessels. He ain't started to bless you yet. Do you have enough faith to admit, to go in the eyes of people who know you ain't got nothing and ask for something? To put something in. Are we too busy trying to pretend like we got a bunch of oil and I just need some more vessels, because, I'm running out of room. Go ahead.
That was it.
You finished that? Yep. All right. So now that we understand what the vessel is, I want you to go to Deuteronomy 23. And within this is going to say again what a vessel is. Deuteronomy 23, I want you to read verses 24 and 25.
When you cometh into your neighbor's vineyard, then you may eat grapes your fill at your own pleasure.
Right. So Yahweh has a law to make sure that we are taken care of within the land. Understand now, the land is his. We don't really understand what this means. When we get a vineyard, we're saying, me, myself, and I, it's my vineyard. Pause for a second. He says, I'm going to allow you to go into my land. I'm going to give you my land. We forget that it's his. So then when we call in everything that we, because we put a flag or fence or something, and then we put our name on it. Okay? All right, and we said, this is mine. The land still belongs to Yahweh. And Yahweh's people need to be sustained in his land. So, if there's a vineyard, if there are grapes, if there's an apple tree, if there's oranges, then his people can go in his land and pick fruit and eat. With a level. And he's about to explain the level. Go ahead.
But you shall not put any in your vessel.
Okay, wait a minute. You cannot go to your neighbor's vineyard, his farm, and make merchandise of him. See, if you put it in a vessel, now you're storing up more than what you needed to eat. See, if you're hungry, you can go and eat. But you don't go with your covetousness and go into that person's vineyard and pick all their grapes. Now, the way we cheated with this when we were little is we didn't know, so we made the shirt a vessel. We didn't know what we was doing, but we was violating. All right? Because when you got that shirt on, you realize when you pull that shirt up and you start putting those apples in that shirt, you done created a vessel that you can now carry multiple things with. Guess what? I ain't got 2 hands. I can eat 2 apples. But when I take this shirt and flip it up, I got 12 apples. Sometimes I drop them coming around because we going all over. Now we're doing too much. Now we're doing too much. But having the understanding of what that vessel is, something that has something placed in it. Did you finish that, brother?
Verse 25. When you cometh into the standing corn of your neighbor, then you may pluck the ears with your hand, but you shall not move a sickle onto your neighbor's standing corn.
Right. If you move a sickle, now you have brought in an instrument to take more of his stuff. Now you're stealing. Look how fine the line is. So in America's law, if they even catch you in the field, you get arrested. Now, with Yahweh's law, you could be in another man's field. But if you bring a bag out, if you brought a tool in, now you have violated the law. See, we have to understand the difference between man's law and Yahweh's law. And the people who have stolen everything do not want anybody to steal anything from them. So after they have came and went from lands and stole everything they could, they then passed laws against stealing. After they have kidnapped people and used them for free labor, they made a law against kidnapping people and using them for free labor. After they have sexually assaulted all of those people they stole, they then passed a law against sexual assaulting people. And they say that their hands are clean. Why? Because the law didn't exist when we did it. Right. Interesting. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 18. Jeremiah chapter 18, and we're going to read verses 1 through 11.
The word which came to Jeremiah from Yah, saying, Arise and go down to the potter's house, and there I will cause you to hear my words. Then I went down to the potter's house, and behold, he wrought a work on the wheels.
Okay, understand what's happening here. Yahweh could talk to him, but he says, now I want a visual with the conversation. So I need you to go down to the potter's house, and then I'm going to talk to you. Because sometimes when I talk to you, you might not be able to see what I'm trying to formulate in your mind. So I need you to go look at this as I explain. Go ahead.
And the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter. So he made it again another vessel, as seemed good to the potter to make. Then the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, O house of Israel, cannot I do with you as this potter? Says Yahweh, behold, as the clay is in the potter's hand, so are you in mine hand, O house of Israel. At what instant I shall speak concerning a nation and concerning a kingdom, to pluck up and to pull down and to destroy it. If that nation against whom I have pronounced turn from their evil, I will repent of the evil that I thought to do unto them.
In other words, he can remake you. You say, I mean, everybody know this is how I am. This is what I do. You knew I was like that when you met me. He says, I can remake you. You know the funny thing about that clay in the potter's hand? He can remake it, but it has to be soft enough to be formulated into something else. Once the clay hardens, it can no longer be reshaped. And we try to make ourselves appear as hard as possible, only declaring that we cannot be reshaped. Go ahead.
Verse 9, and at what instant I shall speak concerning a nation, and concerning a kingdom, to build and to plant it. If it do evil in my sight, that it obey not my voice, then I'll repent of the good, wherewith I said I would benefit them.
Now, wait a minute. Now, this means that he can also remake you in the bad way. He formulated you in a good way, but you said, you know what? I heard enough. You know, I've been close to this word since my birth. I don't really need to hear any more word. I think I got everything I need. And the further you get away, the more the potter's hand starts remaking you into something. And everybody sees that you're marred. Everybody sees that it's not standing upright the way that it was before. But it's hard to notice that when you are the thing in the potter's hand, because now you're being remade into something of dishonor because you said, you know what, I got enough. I don't need, I've been in this word. I don't need to hear anymore. Understand, he has the power to remake you into something undesirable. And normally that's so slow that we don't notice that we're being made into something undesirable. You know, when a person is losing weight and they're losing 1-2 pounds, the people around them don't even notice that. But you take somebody who hadn't seen them in a while, and they look up and they say, man, what you been doing? You been working out? They had to see all the change at one time. So the person who's there day by day is not noticing that they are being changed in the hands of the potter. Go ahead.
Now therefore go to, speak to the men of Yehuda and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, saying, thus says Yahweh, behold, I frame evil against you, and devise a device against you. Return you not every one from his evil way, and make your ways and your doings good.
Right. So let's go to Romans chapter 9. Because it's one thing to have a vessel that is a cup, a pot, a bag. It's something else when that vessel is a living entity. See, a pot can't do nothing but hold the water or the substance that's put in it. But a living vessel has a little bit more options than a regular object. Romans chapter 9, and let's start at verse 1.
I say the truth in Yahshua, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from the Mashiach or my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh.
Stop for a second. I want you to go and read verse 2 again.
That I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart.
People are going to automatically tell you that that individual cannot be chosen by Elohim. Yet we read this all the time. People read it as they're going and saying their cute little slogans. We are more than conquerors, yet they don't want to conquer anything. That I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. They say, well, you done lost the spirit, child. Why you have that going on? You should just be happy all the time. And you know who's happy all the time? the ignorant. It says ignorance is bliss. So all you have to do to be happy is to be ignorant of the situation in which you're dealing. See, a child who knows not that the bill ain't paid and they finna get kicked out of the house, you know the kids is still playing. The parents is walking around with their head down, they stressed. The kids don't even notice. They are in blissful ignorance. You know when the child figured out? When they start moving their toys and putting it on the truck. Now, wait a minute now. Now, this we got to discuss. Because that was my Buzz Lightyear that you just put on that truck. Now, we need to discuss what is your point. All right, what is the point of you taking my Buzz Lightyear and putting it in that truck? Now, the child is coming out of blissful ignorance. What people are trying to promote to you is blissful ignorance. So all you need to do if you want to live a life of complete happiness is make a vow to be stupid. You won't notice any of the things going around you. You won't notice anything that's wrong. You won't notice anything, but you will be happy. Is that what you want? Go ahead, Prince.
Who are Israelites, to whom pertain the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of Elohim and the promises. Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, YHWH came.
Right. So Christ was an Israelite. The disciples were Israelites. Yet people will get up on Sunday morning and say, "What's an Israelite?" But then said, "We love the Lord." Oh yeah. So what was he? He was a Christian. Oh yeah. Say he was. That's not what my book say. This is the New Testament, right? This is the part that they're supposed to read and believe on Sunday morning. How is it that they don't know that their Savior is an Israelite? I heard the darndest thing the other day, and I had to go to a funeral, and it was at a Christian church, and the main pastor wasn't there, and they said he is on a sabbatical. I said, he on a what? And then they decided that they was going to explain sabbatical. I said, well, do tell. Do tell. So, is it still called a sabbatical if you go to church on Sunday? I said, this is rich. You said, so the pastor can't be there because he is under a sabbatical on Sunday. I said, this is rich. And you know the difference? All of the people in the room, except my family, was under blissful ignorance. They didn't even understand what was being said. Go ahead, Chris.
Who is over all, Elohim blessed forever. Amen. Not as though the word of Elohim has taken non effect, for they are not all Israel who are of Israel. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. But in Esaac shall your seed be called. That it is, they which are children of the flesh, these are not the children of Elohim, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Esau, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Elohim according to the election might stand.
Whoa. The children, they haven't done anything wrong, But one is a vessel unto honor, another is a vessel unto dishonor. How could Yahweh look and say, Jacob have I loved, and Esau have I hated? People will tell you that God is love and he doesn't have the ability to hate. So how did he hate this individual before it was born? How did he hate this individual before anything was done? You know, when you go in the kitchen and you realize that there are different kind of cups. They're different vessels.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you don't know the difference, you pick up one of those plastic cups and you say, you know what, it's a vessel just like this one. No, it's a vessel, but it ain't like this one. See, I can look at this vessel here and say, you know what, I'm going to have to drink that a little different. Sometimes you got to pick the finger out when you drink something out of a vessel like this here. So you deal with something in a vessel like this a little different. See, when you get one of them old plastic ones, you just put your whole hand around it. You know what I'm saying? You just grab it. You know what I'm saying? Like a Neanderthal. You know what I'm saying? Because it's such a non-classy vessel. And you just chug it. And if stuff just fall out your mouth and run down the side of your face, it's okay because it's a sloppy vessel anyway. Okay. So how could he look at the vessels before anything was put in and know that there was a difference between the vessels? See, your mama told you real easy. Baby, look here. We got your daddy's family coming over. Don't pull out those cups we normally use. Go up top and get the glasses. We're going to use the other vessels for the company we got coming. Right. Go ahead.
Not of works, but of him that calls. Verse 12. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Elohim? Elohim forbid. For he says to Moshe, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then, it is not of him that wills, nor of him that runs, but of Elohim that shows mercy. For the scripture says unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised you up, that I might show my power in you, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
Now, consider how powerful and how great he wants his name to be reverenced. For the scripture says unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised you up, that I might show my power in you. How do you show your power in Pharaoh? When I take a powerless people and I knock down the most powerful nation on the planet, I am going to be magnified in you, through your falling. Go ahead.
Therefore has he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will, he hardens. You will say then unto me, why does he yet find fault? For who has resisted his will? No, but, O man, who are you that replies against Elohim? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why have you made me thus?
Shall the thing formed, shall it say? Now, come on, now, we do it.
Mm-hmm.
God, why you make me like this? I want to stop being in these streets, but they be calling. Right. Go ahead.
Has not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
Now, we have to ask ourselves, what kind of vessel do we want to be? You know, plastic cup is real cheap. You can go down to the Dollar Tree and get a pack of them. What kind of vessel? See, the type of vessel one is dictates what goes in it. See, when somebody says, you know what, I'm finna go get me some of that fine wine. It's a good occasion. And then somebody said, well, give me one of them old Six Flag cups. They, nah, bro, hold on, bro. We not finna drink this champagne out of that Six Flag cup. I'm trying to tell you, that's not going, bro, is that the Thunder River on that cup? No, bro, we not gonna do that. We not gonna do that. We need a better vessel for a better substance to go into it. All right, brother, you finished that?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go to Leviticus chapter 11. Leviticus chapter 11, and I want you to read verses 31 through 40.
These are unclean to you among all that creep. Whosoever does touch them, when they be dead, shall be unclean until the even. And upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, does fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be any vessel of wood or raiment, or skin or sack, whatsoever vessel it be.
All right, within the very definition of vessel, we hear these same words. Whether it be any vessel of wood or raiment or skin or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done. Go ahead.
It must be put into water, and it shall be unclean until the even, so it shall be cleansed.
All right, now, so let's deal with that. If the vessel has something in it that makes it unclean, the vessel has to be cleansed. Go ahead.
And every earthen vessel whereinto any of them falls, whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and you shall break it. Of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water comes shall be unclean, and all drink that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean. And everything whereupon any part of their carcass falls shall be unclean, whether it be oven or ranges for pots, they shall be broken down, for they are unclean, and shall be unclean unto you. Nevertheless, a fountain or pit, wherein there is plenty of water, shall be clean, but that which touches their carcass shall be unclean. And if any part of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed which is to be sown, it shall be clean. But if any water be put upon the seed, and any part of their carcass fall thereon, it shall be unclean unto you. And if any beast of which you may eat die, he that touches the carcass thereof shall be unclean until the even. And he that eats of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even.
All right. So the point here is the vessel can be made unclean. And that's something that we have to then deal with. Let's go to Job chapter 1. Because when we imagine ourselves being used as a vessel, we never imagine ourselves becoming unclean because of the job of being a vessel. We imagine only good things, only good possibilities when becoming a vessel. And most of us don't want to be a vessel. We don't really want to go through any changes. We want to live a very calm and prosperous life. We don't want to hit any bumps in the road. We want the road to be exceptionally smooth. And this is what has been sold to us as blessings. Job chapter 1, I want you to read verses 1 through 12.
There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared Elohim and eschewed evil. And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep, and 3,000 camels, and 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she-asses, and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east.
All right, he was rich. Go ahead.
And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, It may be that my sons have sinned, and cursed Elohim in their hearts. Thus did Job continually. For there was a day when the sons of Elohim came to present themselves before Yahweh. And Satan came also among them.
So Satan operates and is a son of Elohim, even though he's a disobedient son of Elohim. Can the potter make a vessel unto honor and a vessel unto dishonor? Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Satan, Whence cometh you? And Satan answered Yahweh and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that fears Elohim and escheweth evil?
Now wait a minute. At this point, Yahweh wants to prove something through the life of Job. Now, it's not because he's done anything wrong, because he says he's perfect and upright. He didn't say, you know what, I want to see if he really have the love that he say he has. It's not what he said. Go ahead.
Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, Does Job fear Elohim for naught? Have not you made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he has on every side? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth your hand now, and touch all that he has, and he will curse you to your face. Yahweh said unto Satan, Behold, all that he has is in your power. Only upon himself put not forth your hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yah.
Right. So then we have to look. It says in verse 9, does Job fear Elohim for naught? Have not you made a hedge about him and about his house and about all that he has on every side? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. So what is he saying? He says he's blessing you because you blessing him. If you take the things that he has, he won't serve you no more. Now, this is an interesting angle, because understand what he did to try to get Yahshua to worship. He said, all these things are given unto me, and I give it unto whom I will. If you worship me, fall down and worship me, I'll give you all of these things. Okay, he then says here, have not you made a hedge round about him, and you blessed the work of his hands? Remove that hedge. Let me touch him, and let's take his stuff. So, if we have been told that having things is a blessing, what happens when he takes something from you? We say, you know what, I'm glad I'm not Job, and man, he just took stuff from him. Well, wait a minute. If you have made receiving things equal with a blessing, have you not put yourself in that situation where the adversary is now saying about you, just take what he has and remove that hedge. I bet he'll stop coming to Sabbath class. I tell you what, go on in that house and touch one of somebody in that house. Maybe a son, maybe a daughter. Touch somebody. I bet they won't even show up on the holy day. See, it's easy to read this when it's somebody else. No. Take out Job and put your name. Said, there once was a man in the land of Decatur whose name was Pookie Johnson. And that man was cool. All the people liked him. And he didn't like evil. And there was born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. Go ahead and put yourself right there. See, don't just put yourself in the places and in the stories where they all turn out good. See, this is where we like to go. See, we want to be King David during the good time. See, it's funny where we are with the King David story. See, we want to be good King David. See, we don't now the King David that met Bathsheba, that one not me. I'm the other King David, the one. So there's more than one. We done made another one. When did we make another King David? No, because we want all the good of that individual without encountering any of those bad deeds. But it's the same King David. Sometimes a vessel makes itself dishonorable. And just like a pot, it has to be cleansed. That means you have to remove all of the substance. Because once the unclean things have gotten in it, you can't tell the difference between what part is clean and what part is unclean. It's funny to me when something falls on the ground and then we try to pick it up and we're going to find the dirt.
There go a piece of dirt. There go, that's a hair right there. God made dirt, don't hurt. Put it in your mouth and let it work.
I ain't the only one that did it. Don't do that. Don't do that. I ain't the only one that did that. Where we at, bro?
Luke.
All right, let's go. Luke chapter 7, and we're going to start at verse 36.
Verse 36. One of the Pharisees desired him that he would eat with him. And he went into the Pharisee's house and sat down to meat. And behold, a woman in the city, which was a sinner, when she knew that YHWH sat at meat.
There's a sinner, a sinful woman out here in the streets. Say it ain't so. Go ahead.
When she knew that YHWH sat at meat in the Pharisee's house, brought an alabaster box of ointment, and stood at his feet behind him weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with ointment. Now when the Pharisee which had bidden him saw it, he spake within himself, saying, This man, if he were a prophet, would have known who and what manner of woman this is that touches him, for she's a sinner.
All right, now this is where things kind of get interesting. The master is questioned because of the woman who stands near. He is questioned as not being a prophet. If this man were a prophet, he would know what manner of woman this is, for she is a sinner. So now, his status of a prophet, his status as a holy man, is now questioned because of the company of this sinful woman. Just being near her, he's being questioned. Go ahead.
Yahshua answering said unto him, Simeon, I have somewhat to say unto you. And he says, Master, say on. There was a certain creditor which had 2 debtors. The one owed 500 pence and another 50. And when they had nothing to pay, he frankly forgave them both. Tell me therefore, which of them will love him most? Simeon answered and said, I suppose that he, to whom he forgave most. And he said unto him, You have rightly judged.
Now, we, because we believe that we are so clean beforehand, we don't need that much forgiving in our own mind. So then now we think we better off than the sinful woman. But because the sinful woman understands that she was a sinful woman, her love is increased because she understands the gift that was given unto her. Now, the people who think they are already clean, the people who think they already know, this is why these people are the hardest to teach. It's harder to teach somebody who swear they already know. He has something here dealing with this sinful woman. And we say, you know what? We're not connected to this sinful woman. This sinful woman is causing his name to be blasphemed. Keep reading, brother. I want you to finish that.
Where were we at? 43. And he turned to the woman and said unto Simeon, Seeth you this woman? I entered in your house. You gave me no water for my feet, but she has washed my feet with tears and wiped them with the hairs of her head. You gave me no kiss, but this woman, since the time I came in, has not ceased to kiss my feet.
Now, why would this woman react in this way? She understands that she's a sinner. And we say, you know what? We don't have any connection to that. Newsflash. Israel is the sinful woman. You are the sinful woman. I need you to understand what's happening. They are questioning him because of you. They don't believe he's righteous because of what you have done. And they know what you have done. Some of them did it with you. That's how they know. They got a first-hand account. See, we said, we won't have nothing to do with the sinful woman. You are the sinful woman. But you know, you can read this book all high and mighty when you ain't never the bad person. You know, when you are always the good guy. See, there's some people when we was little, they always wanted to play cowboys and Indians, and they was always the cowboy. Why? Because we the good ones. Then you get older and find out, wait a minute, the cowboys was stealing land and killing innocent people. We should have played Indians. But then we didn't want to die. Right. Let's go to Numbers chapter 14. Numbers chapter 14, and let's start at verse 1.
And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moshe and against Aaron. And the whole congregation said unto them, What Elohim that we had died in the land of Egypt?
All right, here go that sinful woman. Here she is. Here she go. She crying. Go ahead.
Or what Elohim we had died in this wilderness? And wherefore has Yahweh brought us onto this land, to fall by the sword, and that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt? And they said one to another, Let us make a captain, and let us return into Egypt. Then Moshe and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. Then Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Yephani, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes. And they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, The land which we spied through to search, it is an exceeding good land. If Yahweh delight in us, then he will bring us into this land, and give it us, a land which flows with milk and honey. Only rebel not you against Yahweh, neither fear you the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defense is departed from them, and Yahweh is with us. Fear them not. But all the congregation bade stone them with stones. And the glory of Yahweh appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel.
All right, Yahweh is angry at this point. Go ahead.
Yahweh said unto Moshe, How long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be ere they believe me for all the signs which I have showed among them? I will smite them with the pestilence and disinherit them, and will make of you a greater nation and mightier than they.
I will disinherit them. Go ahead.
And Moshe said unto Yahweh, Then the Egyptians shall hear it.
Listen. Then the Egyptians shall hear it. Go ahead.
For you brought up this people in your might from among them. And they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land. For they have heard that you, Yahweh, are among this people, that you, Yahweh, are seen face to face, and that your cloud stands over them, and that you go before them, by daytime in a pillar of a cloud, and in a pillar of fire by night. Now, if you shall kill all this people as one man, then the nations which have heard the fame of you will speak, saying, Because Yahweh was not able to bring this people into the land which he swore unto them.
They will say, because Yahweh is not able. So now your actions have caused our Elohim to be blasphemed, because now your survival is connected to the upholding of his name. Go ahead.
Therefore he has slain them in the wilderness. And now I beseech you, let the power of my Adonai be great, according as you have spoken, saying, Yahweh is long-suffering and of great mercy, forgiving lawlessness and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the lawlessness of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation. Pardon, I beseech you, the lawlessness of this people, according unto the greatness of your mercy, and as you have forgiven this people from Egypt even until now.
Right. So look at how he was able to get Yahweh to repent. It was all connected to his name. This is something that we have to deal with. In Romans 2 and verse 24, it says, For the name of Elohim is blasphemed among the Gentiles through you. Wait a minute. He is being looked at a certain way because of you. Because of us. His name is blasphemed because they know our deeds. And Yahweh clearly wants to separate himself from us because of our deeds. And then one of us has to step up and say, but remember your holy name. Remember that you have talked with this people face to face. They're going to know that you are connected to this people. And if you stop now, they will believe that you are not able. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 36. See, we don't understand what kind of predicament that puts us in. Because at this point now, your God has not done some things that he actually desired to do to you. But because it would make him look bad. Because this is about his holy name's sake, not about you. That he repented of the actions that he were going to do unto you. See, we don't, people be walking around saying there's power in the name. They don't even know what they're talking about. There's so much power in the name. He didn't destroy you because people knew that you were an Israelite. As he said, if I destroy him, even though he has done things worthy of destruction, then my holy name is going to be blasphemed among them. Okay. Ezekiel chapter 36. And let's start at verse 16.
Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their own doings. Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman. Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they had polluted it. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to their own doings. I judged them. And when they entered onto the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name. When they said to them, These are the people of Yahweh, and are gone forth out of the land.
Right. So now you have made some deeds. They're not talking against you. They're talking against Yahweh because of you. Go ahead.
But I had pity for mine holy name.
I had pity for mine holy name. See, he put his name also on you. So now he is having to deal with you a certain way because his name is connected to you. It ain't because you don't deserve punishment. Go ahead.
Which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen, whither they went. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, Thus says the Adonai Elohim, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel.
Just in case you were confused. Go ahead.
For mine holy name's sake, which you have profaned among the heathen, whither you went.
Now, just so you know, I ain't doing this because you a good Joe. Because you ain't good and your name ain't Joe. So neither one of them fit you. But because you took my name, I'm going to give you extra leeway. Go ahead.
I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which you have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am Yahweh, says the Adonai Elohim, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. For I will take you from among the heathen, and gather you out of all countries, and will bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and you shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you.
Look at all this work he got to do. Look at all this work he got to do. Why? Because you got his name. He'd rather cleanse you than destroy you. Go ahead.
A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I'll take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I'll give you an heart of flesh. And I'll put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you shall keep my judgments and do them. And you shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and you shall be my people, and I'll be your El.
Right. But see, all Sunday morning push is to go to heaven. He's saying that he's going to bring his people in the land that he gave his people. Yahweh created a paradise. We go to the beginning of the book and we read the paradise. The paradise was the garden. How is it that we need to die and go to heaven to get to paradise, and he made it here? He came out of heaven, made a paradise. Now you gonna tell me that you need to die to go to paradise, and he made you in a paradise that you were never supposed to die in the first place? Right. Go ahead.
I'll also save you from all your uncleanness, and I'll call for the corn and will increase it, and lay no famine upon you. And I'll multiply the fruit of the tree and the increase of the field, that you shall receive no more reproach or famine among the heathen. Then shall you remember your own evil ways and your doings that were not good, and shall loathe yourselves in your own sights for your lawlessness and for your abominations. Not for your sakes do I this, says the Adonai Elohim. Be it known unto you. Be ashamed and confounded for your own ways, O house of Israel. Thus says the Adonai Elohim, in the day that I shall have cleansed you from all your lawlessness, I will also cause you to dwell in the cities, and the waste shall be built, and the desolate land shall be tilled, whereas it lay desolate in the sight of all that pass by. And they shall say, this land that was desolate is become like the Garden of Eden.
This land that was desolate is become like the Garden of Eden. He is now getting glory through you. But we don't want to go to a land and let that land be replenished and turn into our paradise, because somebody has given us a make-believe paradise in the sky. So let me ask you a question. How does he get any glory from you going to heaven in a place that can't nobody see you at? Tell me, how you get glory from that? But if he put you in a place that was absolutely horrid, and all of a sudden it blossoms and buds, now he gets glory. He don't get no glory from you going to a make-believe place that can't nobody see you at. Why don't every now and then we just see somebody dance in heaven? You be like, there go my Uncle Joe. Look at that. Every now and then. Now, if he let every now and then Uncle Joe just come by, what's up, boy? hey, now see, now, it's going to be some glory. And we said, man, I was sitting down there, I was drinking, man, I looked up, I seen Uncle Joe. Glory be to God. But we ain't seen not now an individual. So how can we get glory for him? But can't nobody see it. It's all in everybody's mind. How you going to get glory from that? You know who gets glory from that? Us. He's not glorified at all. When Yahweh does a great wonder, he wants you to look at it. When he does a great thing, I now go and tell him. Go and tell him who fixed you. How can any person who goes to this make-believe place after death, how can they glorify Elohim if none of us ever get to speak to them? But if that place that was called the projects all of a sudden have palm trees, we said, wait a minute now. Wait a minute, what happened here? Ain't that the place where it was a gang war? Right here? Oh, now he about to get some glory. Go ahead, Prince, you finish that?
And the waste and desolate and ruined cities are become fenced and are inhabited.
Right. The ruined cities have changed. Now what's happening? He's going to get glory. Go ahead.
And the heathen that are left round about you shall know that I, Yahweh, built the ruined places.
Wait a minute. Now the heathen is going to know. Wait a minute. If he has had to suffer because of your dealings, shouldn't he get glory through you since he's already been blasphemed through you? Shouldn't he get glory from you? He's being questioned. If this man were a prophet, he would know what man or woman that is. Yet he didn't leave Israel, even though everybody knew what kind of woman she was. Go ahead.
and plant that was desolate. I, Yahweh, have spoken it, and I will do it. Thus says the Adonai Yah, I will yet for this be inquired of by the house of Israel to do it for them. I'll increase them with men like a flock, as the holy flock, as the flock of Jerusalem in her solemn feast. So shall the waste cities be filled with flocks of men, and they shall know that I am Yahweh.
After this, they shall know that I am Yahweh. Now let's examine Yahweh's position. He cannot deal with you in the fierceness of his anger, because if he destroys you, he destroys his own heritage. But in doing so, now we have caused him to serve and protect and uphold us while we're in our sins. Yet we are the reason that these people look at him in an untoward way. This is something that we have to deal with. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 43. Isaiah chapter 43, and let's start that at verse 1.
But now, thus says Yahweh that created you, O Jacob, and he that formed you, O Israel. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name, you are mine.
Wait a minute. I have called you by your name, you are mine. He's got to deal with you a certain way when you accept the name. So you think that he's saving you because you a good person. No. He's dealing with you because you took the name. So now there's a difference between the people who hang around and the people who take the name. See, everybody, as it is written, they are not all Israel which are of Israel. Some people ain't took the name. See, they are around the word. Then you got people who in it. This protection is connected to the name. You know what we do? Go out there in the streets, and we won't operate under that name. We go out there in the streets, and we turn back to Pookie Johnson. Not understanding that your protection is in the name. But you go out there and portray everything except what's contained in the name. Right. And when we encounter an angel unawares and you in Pookie Johnson mode, well, I think you know the rest. Go ahead, Prince.
When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned.
When, not if. Go ahead.
Neither shall the flame kindle upon you. For I am Yahweh your Elohim, the Holy One of Israel, your Savior. I gave Egypt for your ransom, Ethiopia and sea before you. Since you was precious in my sight, you have been honorable, and I have loved you. Therefore will I give men for you and people for your life.
Do you understand that people have been sacrificed for you? Do you understand that he has allowed some things to happen in your presence just so he can direct you away from it? Go ahead.
Fear not, for I am with you. I will bring your seed from the east and gather you from the west. I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. Even everyone that is called by my name.
He keep going back to the name. I don't know what y'all see. I don't know what y'all dealing with. That you think one person is above another person or what. He keeps going back to his name. The same one that we blaspheme when we go out and become friends with the heathen. So then we do everything the heathen does. Now, you are in a worse position than the heathen. The heathen is a heathen. But you go out with the name of Israel and do the same thing the heathen do. And Lucifer can't wait to tell him.
Yahweh, I tried to call you, but the line was busy. Look here. Have you seen your boy? Have you seen your boy? Well, I recorded it for you so I can show you. Now watch this here. Now this is your boy. Now this your boy that's called by your name. I want you to watch this now. Watch your boy here. Don't pay attention to the rest of the heathen. Those are mine. Now look at him. What? Don't look at them. They mine. Don't worry about them. Look at your kid. Okay? I want you to watch your kid in this video. Don't worry about my children. I've been teaching them foul for years. They know how to do wrong. But I want you to look at your boy in here. Now watch him. He ain't got no business with my children out there doing that right now. Look at him. Look, ain't that your boy? Yeah, that's that little junior, ain't it? What that IJ, little Israel Junior? Ain't that you? Ain't that you? Ain't your boy? Yeah, okay. He can't wait to tell on you. Because that's what he does. Invites you right in so he can tell on you. And the ones who went with you make the best snitches. Now, what we was going to do was this. Wait a minute, how do you have all this information? Oh, because that's me with the blue shirt. What? That's you? Yeah, that's me right there. I was there. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
For I've created him for my glory. I've formed him.
Wait a minute. See, this is what makes our fall exceedingly bad. You were created with a purpose. Go ahead.
I've created him for my glory. I have formed him. Yes, I have made him. Bring forth the blind people that have eyes and the deaf that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this and show us former things? Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified. Or let them hear and say, it is truth. You are my witnesses, says Yahweh, and my servant whom I have chosen, that you may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there was no El formed, neither shall there be any after me. I, even I am Yahweh, and beside me there is no Savior. I have declared and have saved, and I have showed when there was no strange God among you. Therefore you are my witnesses, says Yahweh, that I am El.
Right. The one thing you have to do, you got to preserve your witnesses if you got to go to trial. Correct?
Yea, before the day was, I am he, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. I'll work, and who shall let it? Thus says Yahweh, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. For your sake have I sent to Babylon, and have brought down all their nobles and the Chaldeans, whose cries in the ships.
Now, for your sakes, I'm going to deal with Babylon. This is making us more accountable, not less. Go ahead. Verse 15.
Thank you. I am Yahweh, your Holy One, the Creator of Israel, your King. Thus says Yahweh, which makes a way in the sea and a path in the mighty waters, which brings forth the chariot and horse, the army and the power. They shall lie down together, they shall not rise. They are extinct, they are quenched as tow. Remember you not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. The beasts of the field shall honor me, the dragons and the owls, because I give waters in the wilderness and rivers in the desert, to give drink to my people, my chosen. This people have I formed for myself. They shall show forth my praise. But you have not called upon me, O Jacob, but you have been weary of me, O Israel. You have not brought me the smell of cattle of your burnt offerings, neither have you honored me with your sacrifices. I have not caused you to serve with an offering, nor wearied you with incense. You have bought me no sweet cane with money, neither have you filled me with the fat of your sacrifices. But you have made me to serve with your sins. You have wearied me with your lawlessness.
Wait a minute.
You have made me to serve you in your sins. So now we have done things that have blasphemed the name of our Elohim, and then he stands there and upholds us, even though it was him that we've done these things against. He says, if I destroy you, then I destroy my holy name. So now, because he has to stand to uphold us, now he's serving in our sins. Because understand, all the people that stand by know exactly what you did. And as he shows up and you in his presence, now they're looking at him. Look at him. If he would have known what manner of woman this is. But that's Israel. She is a sinner. Right. See, every time we read that, we see somebody else. We don't see us. Let's go to John chapter 15. Yohanan chapter 15. And I want you to read verses 1 through 12. See, part of Israel's issue is she is a chosen vessel. And being a chosen vessel, there's a problem there. Go ahead, brother.
Esaias 43.
No, go to John 15.
Okay. Yohanan chapter 15 and verse 1. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that bears not fruit, he takes away. And every branch that bears fruit, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit.
Right. So if you're planning on living a comfortable life, I can tell you that you are planning on never being chosen for anything. Every branch in me that bears not fruit, he takes it away. He cuts it off because it is not fruitful. Every branch that bears fruit, he purges it that it may bring forth more fruit. So, your options are being purged that you may bring forth more fruit, or being cut off and cast into the fire because you didn't produce any fruit. Here lies your options. Now, if you don't want to be a chosen vessel, you have other options. These are the options for chosen vessels. These are not all the options. Lucifer has options. You can have, live in complete joy and ignorant bliss until, of course, the day of the fire. There's a lot of other options for other vessels. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine, no more can you except you abide in me.
Right. This is where people believe that they can separate themselves from the tree and still bring forth fruit. They will have fruit, but all those fruit going to be rotten. And then once you start dealing in rotten fruit, the quality goes down. Now, those damaged parts in the fruit, all of a sudden now you don't really look at those parts because all the fruit is damaged. When you're among good fruit, the little imperfections stick out because you have good fruit that is being nourished from the vine that is connected to him. So you'll notice when you start operating and dealing with Yahweh's word, it said that this word is health and marrow to your bones. You will still go through all your aging process. But every now and then, Yahweh going to take you around some of your friends. And they're the same age you. And when you look at them, they look like dead man walking. And folk want to know, what you do? Why you look like that? You still connected to the vine. Go ahead.
I am the vine, you are the branches. He that abides in me, and I in him, the same brings forth much fruit. For without me, you can do nothing.
How many of us know that? See, sometimes you get high and mighty because you look at all your fruit and you say, I don't need to be connected to the vine. I can go down there and still produce fruit. How long before you realize that it's withered away? Go ahead.
If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burnt. If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you.
Right. Does his word abide in you? When we start saying certain things, people get offended. They don't even know that those are Christ's words. Why are you offended? Why does not his word abide in you if you claim to love him? Why do you get angry when I speak his words? Because it ain't abiding in you. Go ahead.
Herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit, so shall you be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Continue you in my love. If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love.
Whoa. Everybody walking around talking about love, but they don't think they have to keep commandments. They ask you, do you love the Lord? Now, of course, we already know that you have to be in ignorant bliss to even still use the word Lord. See, I can tell what level of ignorance we're dealing with by the words you use. But isn't that so in any occasion? Listen to anybody talk. Can't you tell their ignorance level by the words they use? See, even as a dude in the street, I always knew that I never liked street girls. See, whenever a woman came up to me and said, oh, how you doing? What's your name, Il? First of all, Il ain't no word. And I'm going to be the only alley one in my bed. You understand what I'm saying to you? So if you can't talk better than me, baby girl, ain't no place in here for you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to be the worst speaking thing in this bedroom. You understand what I'm saying to you? So the fact when they said, what's your name, Il? I already know we have no future. But how did I know that? By the words that proceeded out of its mouth. Okay. Go ahead, Bruce.
Even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
All right, let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 12. 2 Samuel. Second Samuel chapter 12, and let's read verses 1 through 14.
And Yahweh sent Nathan unto David, and he came unto him, and said unto him, there were two men in one city, the one rich and the other poor. The rich man had exceeding many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing, save one little ewe lamb, which he had bought and nourished up, and it grew up together with him and with his children. It did eat of his own meat, and drank of his own cup, and lay in his bosom, and was unto him as a daughter. And there came a traveler unto the rich man, and he spared to take of his own flock and of his own herd, to dress it for the wayfaring man that was come unto him, but took the poor man's lamb, and dressed it for the man that was come to him. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man. And he said to Nathan, As Yahweh lives, the man that has done this thing shall surely die. And he shall restore the lamb fourfold, because he did this thing, and because he had no pity. And Nathan said to David, You are the man.
Uh-huh.
Thus says Yahweh Elohim of Israel.
Now, why does he have to tell him that he's the man? See, even a chosen vessel can get dirty and needs to be cleansed. Why does he have to tell him? How is it he don't know that he's the man? Go ahead.
I anointed you king over Israel, and I delivered you out of the hand of Saul. And I gave you your master's house and your master's wives into your bosom, and gave you the house of Israel and of Yehudah. And if that had been too little, I would much more have given unto you such and such things. Wherefore have you despised the commandment of Yahweh to do evil in his sight? You have killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and have taken his wife to be your wife, and has slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon.
Now, this is the part of King David we don't want to be. But you walk around and everybody want to be King David. We want to be the good part of that chosen vessel. But the negative parts of that, we don't want none of it. Go ahead.
Now therefore the sword shall never depart from your house, because you have despised me, and have taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be your wife.
Now understand what he says. The sword shall never depart from your house. Now, your children shall be born into the dealing of the sword. This ain't just the sword shall never depart from your house as long as you live. No. You have to understand what you have just done. And then what happens is later on down the road, we get weary. And then what happens when them kids start saying, man, I don't even know why I have to live like this? I think you need to go talk to your daddy. There's something he ain't telling you. Go ahead.
Thus says Yahweh, Behold, I'll raise up evil against you out of your own house, and I'll take your wives before your eyes, and give them unto your neighbor, and he shall lie with your wives in the sight of this sun. For you did it secretly, but I'll do this thing before all Israel and before the sun. And David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against Yahweh.
All right, that's as far as I want to go now. Just in case the vessels become high and mighty and believes that Elohim needs him or her, he reserves a piece of your past ready to be activated for your humbling or your destruction if need be. Let's go to Matthew chapter 22. Now, it's up to you whether that is for your humbling or whether it is for your destruction. See, the vessel can't get to the point where it starts feeling so important. You know what? Yahweh need me. Who else can do what I can do? That's a bad question. Whenever you find yourself, I knew somebody who I heard those words come from. Yeah, I went to their funeral. I knew those words was bad the day I heard them. Who can do the work? Don't even let that finish. That sentence finish coming out your mouth. You think he need you? Matthew chapter 22, and let's start at verse 1.
And Yahshua appeared, and Yahshua answered and spake unto them again by parables and said, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. And again he sent forth other servants, saying, Tell them which are bidden, Behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come on to the marriage. But they made light of it, and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants, and entreated them spitefully, and slew them.
Wait a minute. These are the servants that are being mistreated. Wait a minute. These are the chosen vessels. Go ahead.
When the king heard thereof, he was angry, and he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burnt up their city. Then says he to his servants, The wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go you therefore into the highways, and as many as you shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good. And the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he says unto him, Friend, how came you in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen.
Now, the chosen often get persecuted by the called. This can get confusing. See, there's the called, and then there's the chosen. Many are called, but of the ones that are called, a few of them are chosen. The chosen get persecuted by the called. Then we understand what they were called for. They were not called to be chosen. They were called to prove the chosen. When it talks about that garment, the blemishes in that garment are the blemishes in our character. The question is whether or not we have the opportunity to get those things repaired before the master comes. Let's go to Exodus chapter 1. Exodus chapter 1, and I want you to start at verse 8.
Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass, that when there falls out any war, they join also unto our enemies, and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service, wherein they made them serve, was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, When you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then you shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
So understand what the law of Egypt, because this is being set forth by Pharaoh, that when there is a Hebrew man child, then you are to destroy it. At this point, they don't like our numbers. At this point, we are multiplying too much. Do y'all realize that we're in the same problem? Why do you think they made abortion illegal? Because other people were getting abortions, but they're not multiplying like us and those other people who they just so happen to be throwing all of their kids in these little makeshift concentration camps. Okay, those people that they say that this is about immigration, those people are surpassing their numbers. You realize we're in the same predicament as what we're reading. See, we like to look at this and we put it back. No, they have grown greater and mightier than us. Now let us deal wisely with them. You don't understand that you're living through that again. You realize you can just drive by a factory and not know that that is a holding tank for ice? You may go past an old Kroger, realize all the windows blacked out. They got all those people in there. Now, what are the possibilities when you have people who don't have paperwork? You can do whatever you want to those people. And if you think they're going to stop at those people, you have not recognized these people. Go ahead.
But the midwives feared Elohim and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them.
He made them answer for it. Why do I see little boys walking around here? We want to slow down their numbers. What do you think that prison system was created for? Go ahead.
Why have you done this thing and have saved the men children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered the midwives come in unto them.
So wait a minute. Whether they were lying or whether they telling the truth, there's something about the way the Hebrew women were still able to bear children. And you got people taking medicine and having 10, 12 kids. We come from people who had 12 kids, 14, 15, and they ain't took not nan medicine. This then becomes a reason to attack them. So then they made sure they start putting things in our food, things that would slow down our reproduction. Go ahead.
Therefore Elohim dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared Elohim, that he made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born you shall cast into the river, and every daughter you shall save alive.
All right, so he tried to do this with the midwives. So basically he tried to do it privately. All right? The private method of destroying the Hebrew men children didn't work. So now there's a public campaign to harm them. Go ahead and start at chapter 2 and verse 1.
And there went a man of the house of Levi, and took to wife a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived, and bare a son. And when she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. And when she could no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrush, and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein. And she laid it in the flags by the river's brink. And his sister stood afar off, to know what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the river's side. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. And when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him, and said, this is one of the Hebrews' children.
This is one of the Hebrews' children. Now it said, Pharaoh charged his people, saying, every son that is born you shall cast into the river. Well, he is in the river. she wasn't expecting to see a live child floating in the river. You know, when I say certain things, sometimes people get bothered by it because they can't take it in that form. That there are certain parts of your life that were absolutely traumatic, and Yahweh wanted it to be because it helped your purpose. But what we will do is use the trauma and stop life altogether. We won't do this. We won't do that. We won't do this. I want you to understand, this is one of the most traumatic things. Understand that this boy is taken from his mama, put in a basket, and put in the water and pushed off. He shall be adopted and raised by another family. This trauma was Elohim approved. And we want to go, I need to go to therapy. I need to get this. I ain't telling you not to go to a therapist. But I'm trying to tell you that the therapist ain't going to be able to pull out what Yahweh put in. What you can learn from the therapist is how to deal with your trauma. But it ain't going to go away because Yahweh meant for it to be there. This is Elohim approved trauma. Keep reading.
Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and call to you a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for you? And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, go. And the maid went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away and nurse it for me, and I'll give you your wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it.
Now, hold on. Now the mama finna be paid to nurse her own child. There's certain trauma that Yahweh has assigned for you, and you gonna go through it. You can always choose to go for Satan and have ignorant bliss. But if you gonna be a chosen vessel, he's got something planned that you're gonna have to deal with. Go ahead.
And the child grew, and she brought him on to Pharaoh's daughter. And he became her son. And she called his name Moshe. And she said, because I drew him out of the water.
Now, wait a minute. Pharaoh said, throw him in the river. His name is named after his trauma.
We say, you know what? I block out all my trauma because I don't want to deal with it.
Essentially, his name is baby trauma. And Yahweh has a tendency to do it. What happened? Esaac mama laughed. The angel said, why you laugh? I ain't laugh. He said, but you did laugh.
Name the child laugh. Because I was traumatized and arguing with that angel.
He was named after the traumatic event. Okay. Keep going.
And it came to pass in those days, when Moshe was grown, that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens. And he spied an Egyptian smiting in Hebrew.
You think that trauma ain't working on him? You think that trauma ain't working on him? All right, he got the trauma. He wasn't raised with his people. He was raised over here, but he knows all the gods of Egypt. He knows all of their mathematics. He knows all of the things that a slave ain't supposed to know. Yahweh used his trauma to build him up. But the trauma still traumatized. Because that was bothering him. Then he got to keep looking over there. My people over there. I'm over here. I know I'm living in luxury, but look at my people. Okay, keep reading.
One of his brethren. And he looked this way and that way, and when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, 2 men of the Hebrews strove together. And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smiteth you your fellow? And he said, who made you a prince and a judge over us? Intend you to kill me as you killed that Egyptian? And Moshe feared and said, surely this thing is known.
Now, as we get here, I'll read that next verse.
Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moshe. But Moshe fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well.
Now, this is a bad situation. Okay? Here is this man. Now, he's already been raised away from, he's a foster child. All right? People will tell you it's real traumatizing being brought up in the system. This is a foster child. He longs for his real people, and I messed around and now murdered somebody. Now, he has to run away. He's a fugitive. People said, oh, this is horrible. This is a chosen vessel. We imagine that a chosen vessel's life goes according to everybody else's life. A chosen vessel's life often goes completely opposite of everybody else. And you know what we do? Look at everybody else and try to imagine our life like theirs. Go to chapter 3 and start at verse 1 for me.
Now Moshe kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian.
Now, this is, of course, after he's a fugitive and has to go out somewhere else and live. All right? More trauma. More trauma. Go ahead.
And he led the flock to the backside of the desert, and came to the mountain of Elohim, even to Horeb. And the angel of Yahweh appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burnt with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moshe said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. And when Yahweh saw that he turned aside to see, Elohim called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moshe, Moshe. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Draw not near hither. Put off your shoes from off your feet, for the place whereon you standeth is holy ground.
Right. The place where you stand is holy ground. There is a reason why we remove our shoes before we enter into the sanctuary. You've never gone anywhere on Sunday morning and they told you to remove your shoe. They know it ain't holy ground. They know it ain't. Go ahead.
Moreover, he said, I am the Elohim of your father, the El of Abraham, the El of Esaac, and the El of Jacob. And Moshe hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon Elohim. And Yahweh said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land and large, onto a land flowing with milk and honey, onto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites.
Why didn't he say, I am come to take them to heaven? I have a paradise for them. I've heard of their affliction, and I'm finna go ahead and swing down, sweet chariot. Let me ride. Go ahead, bro.
Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them. Come now, therefore, and I will send you unto Pharaoh, that you may bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. And Moshe said unto Elohim, Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? And he said, Certainly I'll be with you, and this shall be a token unto you that I have sent you.
Now, this chosen vessel. See, a lot of times we will look at our past and we'll say, there's no way I could be a chosen vessel. You need to understand, here is a foster kid who took somebody's life, then became a fugitive, And here he is being called to do a job. Now we throw that in reverse. Him being a foster kid was not a mistake. Him harming that person was not a mistake. Because he needed to get right there to that place and be trained some more. Sometimes you're looking at various levels of your training. There's one part of the training that had to happen at Pharaoh's house. Another part of that training had to happen out there in that wilderness. Once that is complete, now he has to go back to where it started. Go ahead.
When you have brought forth the people out of Egypt, you shall serve Elohim upon this mountain.
Upon this mountain. Wait a minute. The place where I'm talking to you at, you gonna go get them people, and you gonna come back here. So wait a minute. Then the place was always significant. We think he just ended up somewhere. No. His trauma led him to the place where he is going to lead them. Go ahead.
And Moshe said unto Elohim, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The El of your fathers has sent me unto you. And they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them? And Elohim said unto Moshe, Yahweh. And he said, Thus shall you say unto the children of Israel, Yah has sent me unto you. And Elohim said moreover unto Moshe, Thus shall you say unto the children of Israel, Yahweh Elohim of your fathers, the El of Abraham, the El of Esaac, and the El of Jacob, has sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations.
All right. Now, I recently watched the movie The Gods and Kings of Egypt. It was the worst piece of cinematography I've ever seen in my life. All right. So I want to go through a few pieces of what's there. First of all, God is played by a European boy. So Moshe actually looks down to speak to his God. The little boy proclaims himself as I am. Okay. The plagues presented themselves as natural disasters, one causing the other, and not being presented by Moses at the command of Yahweh. Each one of them, you got to understand what they're putting forth here. That there's not divine interaction. It is this person's own idea and imagination. All right? The entire movie takes place without Moshe having a staff or a rod. You don't quite know how significant that is. We're going to go into something so I can tell you exactly how significant it is that he never had a staff. He never had a rod. Okay? There's also very little communication between Moses and the Most High, implying that Moshe is doing these things on his own. All right? Next step here. What was put in the water that caused it to separate was an Egyptian sword, implying that the Egyptian god was the one that performed the miracle of separating the water. See, these things right here is why my kids don't want to watch movies with me. All right? I'm a very horrible movie watcher when they have any biblical significance. I'm gonna jump up in the middle of the movie. I'm gonna start talking. They say, "Here we go. Here go this dude," and then they start talking to their mom. Will you get your up? Can y'all go get some snacks or something? Then I turn into the valet. Hey, bro, we need some more popcorn. Go that way. Go get some popcorn or something. next point. I want to read something to you. In Exodus chapter 7 and verse 15, it says, get you unto Pharaoh in the morning. Lo, he goes out unto the water, and you shall stand by the river's brink against he come, and the rod which was turned to a serpent shall you take in your hand. Entire movie, he does not have a rod. Yet it is called the gods and kings of Egypt. Exodus chapter 8 and verse 5. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, say unto Aaron, stretch forth your hand with your rod over the streams, over the rivers, over the ponds, and cause the frogs to come up upon the land of Egypt. They made the plagues be natural events. Without the rod, nothing is being proclaimed by Yahweh in this piece of cinematography here. Also, there's even no dealing of Aaron. It's all just Moses. All right. Exodus 8 and verse 16. And Yahweh says unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch out your rod and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. No rod, it just took place. Once one thing happened, they presented it as some alligators who got into a whole mess, and they got to fighting, and there was blood. Then the blood in the water stretched out and then caused the fish to die, which caused the net. And all of the plagues naturally occurred from that one event. All right. Exodus 9 and verse 23. Moshe stretched forth his rod toward heaven, and Yahweh sent thunder and hail, and the fire ran along upon the ground, and Yahweh rained hail upon the land of Egypt. Once again, this is something that took place with no rod. All right? Exodus 10 and 13. And Moshe stretched forth his rod over the land of Egypt, and Yahweh brought an east wind upon the land all that day and all that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts. The locusts came on their own. And these are the people that we entrust to show us accurate depictions in their movies. First of all, every character in this movie was a Gentile. You got to understand that this takes place in North Africa. The events that we read in our Bible are taking place in North Africa. Yet every person in this piece of cinematography is Gentile. Next one, Exodus chapter 14 and verse 16. But lift up your rod and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. Now, remember I told you it was an Egyptian sword that he threw and the water started separating. If you don't read your book, this movie had so many inaccurate biblical details. It becomes a test to how many you can find. Now, some of that might have sounded insignificant. I want you to go to Exodus chapter 11, and I want you to read verses 1 through 8.
And Yahweh said unto Moshe, yet will I bring one plague more upon Pharaoh and upon Egypt. Afterwards he will let you go hence. When he shall let you go, he shall surely thrust you out hence altogether. Speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow of his neighbor, and every woman of her neighbor, jewels of silver and jewels of gold. And Yahweh gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. Moreover, the man Moshe was very great in the land of Egypt, in the sight of Pharaoh's servants, and in the sight of the people. And Moshe said, thus says Yahweh, about midnight will I go out into the midst of Egypt, and all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sits upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of beasts. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall it be like it any more. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue, against man or beast, that you may know how that Yahweh does put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. And all these your servants shall come down unto me, and bow down themselves unto me, saying, Get you out, and all the people that follow you, and after that I will go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in a great anger. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that my wonders may be multiplied in the land of Egypt. And Moshe and Aaron did all these wonders before Pharaoh, and Yahweh hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the children of Israel go out of his land.
He would not let the children of Israel go out of his land. Now, a lot of us love going to the beach. The beach is a place that most of us enjoy. We have to understand that it is also a place that most of the atrocities that happen to us occurred. Along the shores of Africa is where we were packaged. Along the shores of America is where we were offloaded and placed in more holding tanks, waiting for sale. In Egypt, we were upon the shore with a sea in front of us and an angry army behind us. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 11. The Egyptian sword was a very big deal. And, of course, the not using this rod. Hebrews 11, and I want you to read verses 23 through 29.
By faith, Moshe, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith, Moshe, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of Elohim than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, esteeming the reproach of the Mashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Through faith he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he that destroyed the firstborn should touch them. Verse 29, by faith they passed through the Red Sea as by dry land, which the Egyptians essaying to do were drowned.
Now, you have to consider that all of these things that are connected to this trauma. All right? So Moshe is, first they're ordained to put the children in the water, drown them. Moshe is placed in the water, and then he's named Moshe because he is drawn out of this water. All right? Now, he ends up, this is after this plan of saying kill all the Hebrew children. He then has to be the one to orchestrate the unaliving of all of the Egyptian children. He then, the one who was saved out of water, leaves Egypt walking through a wall of water. The very trauma that he was born into is the very way that he's going to be delivered. He cannot escape the trauma. His name is Moses. He is drawn from water. He leaves Egypt through a wall of water. His trauma is in every part of his life. And he's a chosen vessel. We think because we got trauma, we must not be chosen. But he uses the trauma to deal with you. He's even named, not just after the trauma of his beginning, but the same trauma of his ending. He has to walk through a wall of water, which is one of the most frightening things ever. All the while dealing with doubters as he's doing this. Let's go to Jeremiah 51. I want to read a few things out of this. Because in our choosing, there are some things that the Most High is going to make sure that we deal with. Jeremiah chapter 51, and I want you to start at verse 19.
The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Yahweh of hosts is his name.
Okay, I want you to pause, and I want you to read that one more time.
The portion of Jacob is not like them,
Okay,
for he is the former of all things,
okay.
and Israel is the rod.
Stop. Every last one of the plagues were committed without the rod. If you leave out the rod, read who the rod is again.
His inheritance.
Okay, back up. Who is the rod?
The portion of Jacob is not like them.
So if Israel is the rod, all of the plagues were done without the rod. That means you are operating without Israel. They are playing mind games with you, hoping you will never connect enough dots. You think that in that movie they just left out a rod. No, they left out you. Go ahead, bro.
You are my battle axe and weapons of war.
Uh-huh.
For with you will I break in pieces the nations, and with you will I destroy kingdoms. And with you will I break in pieces the horses and his rider. And with you will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider.
Uh-huh.
With you also will I break in pieces man and woman. And with you will I break in pieces old and young. And with you will I break in pieces the young man and the maid.
Now, this is where things start getting interesting, because the people who have pretended to be you, they have read this too. So what happens is those people are playing a role, but they don't know which part of the role they're supposed to be playing. This is what happens when you get too involved in a role, you lose yourself. Go and ask some of the people what happened. There are people who played a movie role, and it ended up being their last role, because they said the role was too much. They took on a spirit and couldn't get rid of it when that role was over. All right, keep reading.
I'll also break in pieces with you the shepherd and his flock. And with you will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen.
Now, he's talking about Israel. You're going to be his battle axe and weapon of war. But there's a time for that. All right? Go ahead.
And with you will I break in pieces captains and rulers. And I'll render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, says
Now,
Yahweh.
check this out. He's going to do all of that to Babylon. Now, people will then say, all right, so Israel is going to fight Babylon. Keep reading.
Behold, I'm against you, O destroying mountain, says Yahweh, which destroys all the earth. And I'll stretch out mine hand upon you, and will roll you down from the rocks, and will make you a burnt mountain. And they shall not take of you a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but you shall be desolate forever, says Yahweh. Set you up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her.
All right, pay attention. All right, set up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her. Now, true Israel is captive in Babylon. It says that you're going to be his battle axe and weapons of war. But not yet. Nations are coming up against Babylon. Keep reading.
Call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, Minni, Ashkenaz.
Stop. Wait a minute. Ashkenaz. Have y'all seen the breakdown of each state and how many millions it sends to Israel? There are governments that have to send millions of dollars of their tax revenue directly to Israel. Texas is sending $1 billion. So you have all of what comes from the government. Then you have each individual state giving money. And some small cities within the state. Now you have Ashkenaz, which if you look at the largest portion, they're called Ashkenazi. Okay. Well, it's saying that these are going to be the countries that are going to invade Babylon. So, when people are pretending, they're reading, they say, okay, we've taken on and assumed this role of Israel. We're going to be the battle axe and weapons of war. So now they've taken on this. This is a separate statement about the nations coming to invade Babylon. Because Israel is not formed, true Israel, is not formed into an army yet. Yet, Babylon is going to be invaded. The interesting thing is Babylon is going to be invaded by the people whom she has helped the most. Not by true Israel, but by the people who were pretending. Right now, one level of their push to merge the military of the United States with Israel has already gone forth. Why would any country merge their military with another country? Especially a country that they are helping. How would you give anybody that you help power over your decisions? But it says these nations are going to come up against Babylon. This is what it says. Keep reading.
Appoint a captain against her. Cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Russians, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion.
Wait a minute. Now all of these countries are then going to come up against her. This is not Israel, true Israel, fighting in this. Don't let the part of you're going to be my battle axe and weapons of war. Don't misunderstand that and think that you're going to be fighting in Babylon. No, somebody else is going to do their job. Go ahead.
And the land shall tremble and sorrow. For every purpose of Yahweh shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant.
Right. And then the interesting part and what's going to hurt Babylon so much is she would then have been destroyed the same way Rome was, from within. From within her own people. While she's watching everybody else, it's going to be the ones that she helped the most that did her in. Let's go to Exodus chapter 19. We got one more after this. Exodus chapter 19. And I want you to start at verse 1. We're going to read verses 1 through 14.
In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. And Moshe went up unto Elohim, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shall you say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, You've seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. For all the earth is mine.
All the earth is mine. When we offer him an offering, we are just being respectful and offering him that which belongs to him. We actually think that we giving our stuff. He said the earth and the fullness therein belongs to me. Go ahead.
And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and an holy nation. These are the words which you shall speak unto the children of Israel. And Moshe came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which Yahweh commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, All that Yahweh has spoken we will do. And Moshe returned the words of the people unto Yah. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Lo, I come unto you in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with you, and believe you forever. And Moshe told the words of the people unto Yah. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Go unto the people, and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes, and be ready against the third day. For the third day Yahweh will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And you shall set bonds unto the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves, that you go not up unto the mountain, or touch the border of it. Whosoever touches the mount shall be surely put to death. There shall not an hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through. Whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the trumpet sounds long, they shall come up to the mount. And Moshe went down from the mount unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes.
Right. There's a thing that we have to understand, as they would always say, cleanliness is next to godliness. We need to know that this is something that we have to do. Priest Kish was looking at me laughing that we had on the same color when I walked in. And I told him, I said, I was planning on wearing another outfit, but it had some kind of spot on it. I couldn't wear that one. I couldn't figure out. I was like, okay, we got to figure out why that didn't, come out. When you deal with that, before they go to Elohim, let them go down there and wash their clothes. These are things that we don't even consider when we're going to present ourselves before our Elohim. How are we coming? Did we spend that time to get ourselves together? Or did we just come any old kind of way, looking like anything, smelling like anything? Did we even try? Now let us go on a date. We done tried to scrub some skin off. We can't even enjoy the date because we itching so much. So what is wrong with you? Now you tried to wash too hard. There are things that you have to deal with when you are a chosen vessel. But the nations are going to try to make you think that you don't deserve to be a chosen vessel. Why do you think the news constantly has you being arrested on it? It's not just about arresting you. It's about affecting your thought process about yourself, so that you won't believe that you have the ability to be a chosen vessel unto Elohim. And if you don't believe it in your mind, even when he calls you, you won't accept the call, because you have been made to feel unworthy. But let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to Acts chapter 9. The nations know exactly what they are doing. They are not making any mistake. They are not doing anything just to be doing it. But while they're doing their best of deception, Elohim is also deceiving them. When they realize that they have given all of this money to the very people who are going to destroy them, they are going to be so hurt. You have put all of this time and energy in watching everything that we do. And somebody who destroyed you look just like you. Acts chapter 9, and let's start at verse 1.
And Saul, yet breathing out threatenings and slaughter against the disciples of the Adonai, went on to the high priest, and desired of him letters to Damascus to the synagogues, that if he found any of this way, whether they were men or women, he might bring them bound on to Jerusalem. And as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round about him a light from heaven. And he fell to the earth, and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecute you me?
So he is actively persecuting the saints. And now he's receiving a call. This is not just something that he did in his past. This is something that he's doing in his present. Go ahead.
And he said, Who are you, Adonai? And the Adonai said, I'm Yahshua, whom you persecute. It is hard for you to kick against the pricks. And he, trembling and astonished, said, Adonai, what will you have me to do?
Automatically, what will you have me to do? I understand I have been in error. Go ahead.
And the Adonai said unto him, Arise and go into the city, and it shall be told you what you must do.
Now, in most people's version, right when they get the calling of God, he somehow tells them the whole story. Here, to prove his calling, he makes sure that somebody else finishes this job. What if Saul has this whole vision himself? He has no one to validate that he has been called. The way Yahweh is about to do it, there's going to be an approved servant who validates that Saul has been called. Go ahead.
And when the men which journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice, but seeing no man, and Saul arose from the earth. And when his eyes were opened, he saw no man, but they led him by the hand and brought him into Damascus. And he was 3 days without sight, and neither did eat nor drink. And there was a certain disciple at Damascus, named Ananias. And to him said the Adonai in a vision, Ananias. And he said, Behold, I'm here, Adonai.
All right, so the fact that he is called, there's somebody else that is also called to verify that Saul is about to receive a charge. Go ahead.
And the Adonai said unto him, Arise and go into the street which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Yehudis for one called Saul of Tarsus. For behold, he prays, and he has seen a vision in a vision a man named Ananias coming in and putting his hand on him that he might receive his sight.
He has seen in a vision the thing that I'm telling you to go do. Now you getting the vision that he prayed, I'm giving him the vision of you going and laying your hands on him. Somehow, when these things happen among men here on the earth, one person gets the whole thing. And there's left no one to validate the calling. Go ahead.
Then Ananias answered, Adonai, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he has done to your saints at Jerusalem.
Right. This servant does not believe that this individual should even be led in the church. And this is a valiant servant. He is a worthy servant. And this servant does not believe on this individual. He does not believe that he can be called to do anything. So what if the highest of authority say you don't deserve to be a chosen vessel? If Yahweh say you're a chosen vessel, you are a chosen vessel. And nobody, in no matter what position they're in, can undo his calling. Go ahead.
And here he has authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on your name. But the Adonai said unto him, Go your way, for he's a chosen vessel unto me.
He is a chosen vessel unto me. Now, did Yahweh not know about all the people he persecuted? Clearly he knew. Because YHWH said, why you persecuting me? He knew what he did. He still called him. There was something that was in him that could be used for kingdom's sake. Is there anything in you that can be used for the kingdom's sake? Regardless as to what you did, regardless as to what you might have done, is there something left in you that he can use? If so, you can still be a chosen vessel. Go ahead.
To bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. For I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake.
Right. In that, he is still a chosen vessel. It didn't say, I'm going to erase everything that he's done. No, you know what? I want him to remember the trauma that he has caused. Because when he starts going through trauma, I want him to realize and remember that he also caused trauma. I don't want to take this away. I want it right before his face because I want to remind him of it every time he get ready to quit. You know what? I can't take this, all this trauma. You remember these people you tried to hang right here? You know what? What time we going down now? No, he don't want to erase it. He need to remind you of it. This is going to be your working fuel. See, we want them to forget everything bad that we've ever done. No, this is how he gonna fuel you. Because you gonna get ready to quit. And he gonna remind you. All right, now you remember when you did it. You know what? Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let me go on down here and do this job. He's not trying to erase your trauma. He wants it so that you can focus and deal with your trauma. But your trauma is your fuel. You don't get rid of your fuel. You use your fuel to propel you in the direction that he needs for you to go. That's all that we're going to do for today. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.